Hi Splashes, and welcome to Minecraft Maniacs 33. And today we are starting out at our base, because we have been doing a lot of AFK stuff here. But first, Jojo has gone ahead and expanded his base, or like redone it, and I helped him build this little section over here. Uh, but I've not actually really gotten to explore the inside or see what he's done with it, or see this new little section here. So he has a nice little dock, goes in here. I do kind of like this pattern. I actually like it. I like how it comes down to the floor. I think it looks very nice. A nice room here. And then down here it goes into his other stuff. I do like the beds in the floor. Looks like a storage system of some sort. I wonder what he's storing. Just everything. And then, oh, I hate these. I'm so bad at using these. Oh, cool. So when you hit this thing, the observer reads and it pushes you over. So here is, well, I suppose it doesn't have too much up here yet. Well, I don't think that worked too well. Here's the upper floor, and SS for spaceship, because of course this is the futuristic district. Or maybe it's 55. Could be pad 55. But anyway, we have done a lot of AFKing, and it's taken quite a bit of, like, changing the colors of the sheep is really annoying. So I have, because you can't just dye them automatically when they're already sheared. You have to wait until they grow the stuff back, and then you can dye them. So you just, it's actually not that bad. You just have to pop off the redstone dust and then go through. But at this point, I'm probably actually pretty close to not having any more shears in some of these places. Oopsie. Ooh, yep. Well, that might explain why the production has slowed down quite a bit. Yep. Okay. Well, I guess I should fix that then. But despite that, we are now up to, I think, 79 shulker boxes. So all these shulker boxes are filled, and at this point you can see we're mostly getting just black and blue, because those are going to be the main colors that we're going to need. And probably by the end of this, at some point, everything is just going to be black shulkers. So we have we have a double chest and half of a chest, or half a double chest, as well as this little hopper here. I should really just stick some chests down, so that way I can get a better idea of how many of these individual colors I actually have, so I can figure out how much I actually need. And for all these colors that aren't black, I went ahead and redid the math for how many shulkers of stuff I would need for shulkers of carpet, so that way I don't over or make too much stuff, because otherwise then I'm going to have like 10 extra shulker boxes of blue wool, and I can't imagine a time I'm actually going to be using that much blue wool. Though, one downside of AFKing over here is that there's sometimes lightning storms, and unfortunately this area is loaded. And if you know anything about lightning and villagers, you know that sometimes lightning will strike and turn them into witches. And this thing here is apparently not high enough to make the difference. So we lost our Unbreaking Book guy, which sucks because he was pretty cheap. But we've also lost all these iron workers. That's 7 iron workers, or 7 toolsmiths and weaponsmiths that we've lost. And that is really painful, but at least we didn't lose any of the armors, which are a lot more annoying to deal with, but that just kind of sucks. Let me go to bed quickly, and then we can actually get into what we'll be doing today. grab this. So, on me, I have a couple of shulker boxes, which are actually labeled gravel and sand, but contain neither gravel nor sand. And these are both full of white concrete that I've already processed, and then this guy's full of sand. And based on the fact that my inventory is full of sponges, you might be able to guess what we're doing next. Yeah, this is the right direction. So, up in this direction north of here, we have 4 columns of sand plotting out here. And right now this doesn't look like much, but this is going to be the home of our new slime farm. So inside of this chunk here, or inside of here, there are 4 slime chunks. And so we're going to clear out all this water, that's what all the sand is for, and this entire box which is full of sand. And then we'll go ahead and come into here and burrow all the way down to just above bedrock and build ourselves a slime farm as low down as we can get it. And then we'll put blocks on top of that, and we're going to want to have some light blocks in there so that way we don't get a bunch of non-slimes spawning. And with that we can go ahead and try and get as many slimes as possible. It should be a very fast and efficient farm. We'll be using Wither Roses, so hopefully even here on this server it should actually generate quite a lot of slimes for us. But first, I have a cool idea in our creative world that I'm going to show you, so let's hop on into there. Okay, so we're in a test world now, not our normal test world. This just happens to be the world where I did my first Fix Your Build series, mostly because it just happens to have water here, and my other test world doesn't have any water. So I've gone ahead and built this very small version of something that would remove water, and unfortunately this would be a lot easier if we had honey blocks, but we don't yet. So this one's only 3 wide, but it should be able to be easily tileable, and we have to have these little bits in the corners here so the water doesn't all refill itself. And it's basically just flying machines pushing flying machines. Unfortunately, I am terrible at flying machines, so this is probably going to break. I went past the push limit, did I? Didn't I? That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, oh crap. Okay, Okay, let's try this again. Okay, well that actually pushed everything down. Fortunately, I'm not sure it actually stopped everything from just filling itself back in. Okay, well, except for the draining water breaking the flying machine, but I suppose that's fine because the flying machine was already done. I should go get that. Let me just stick you here. Okay, go back down. So it does actually drain the area like I want it to. I think this will be a much more interesting option when we have honey blocks. But I'm not really thinking it makes sense to do this now, because we have to do this every 4 blocks, and we can just do sponges with that, and then we don't have to build this whole flying machine over and over again. So that was a waste of time. Let's do sponges. So unfortunately that redstone machine didn't quite work, which means we're going to have to do this all with sponges. Of course I actually knew that because I made that segment earlier, but I thought it was a cool redstone machine, and I think in 1.15 it could actually really change the way that we do stuff like this, because with honey blocks, then that distance is actually quite a bit larger. And everything is just one long rather than three, or one wide rather than three wide. But unfortunately, doing that, I'd have to make chunks, or like where it blocks off, every 4 blocks. Well, I have to do that anyway with sponges. But unfortunately, I have the sponges from Cyrus. Oh, it flashes. It looks like my head goes. Huh, neat. So let's jump into a hyperspeed build mode, and first let's go ahead and clear out this water. Then we'll dig down this little guy here, and then we can probably get our slime farm set up. So with that, let's jump into hyperspeed build mode. And end of hyperspeed build mode. And that took a really long time, actually. So in my head, I was expecting that was going to take like 2 or 3 hours. I think it took like 7 or 8 hours. Of course, I still squished it down into about a minute and a half because that's the length I like my time lapses. But now, yeah, we now have a giant hole. And this was really difficult hole. It was a lot of digging. But this thing actually generates quite quickly. Now there is someone else online right now, so it's actually it's not running very fast. But here it's empty, and if we fly back down, should. Yep. Okay. Well, when I'm the only one on the server, it makes a huge amount of slimes. And like I had stopped killing all the little slimes when I was time lapsing, so you might have been able to see that there were just points when there were just whole bunches of little slimes just following me around like a pack of puppies. So that was really cute and cool. They were like little pets, a bunch of little kids. But this was a huge amount of digging. The top bit, so the water doesn't actually go as deep as I thought it did here. It only actually goes down about 16 blocks. And then the rest of it is all this stuff down here. And there's still a lot of holes in the walls here. And I did my best to light things up. Fortunately, being under an ocean, most of the stuff is flooded ravines. Like you can see the 2 big vertical pieces of sand there. Those were both water ravines, as well as the sand my cursor's on there was a water ravine. And I can't remember about over there. I think those were just open caves. But yeah, lots and lots. Actually, I think that bottom bit might actually be lava. Point is, lots and lots of stuff. So that was about 40,000 blocks we dug out. So we have a bunch of diorite here. But that's not all, because we have another full shulker box of diorite here. Now, old me would have thrown away this diorite because diorite is kind of a terrible block. It makes, like, fine pseudo-marble floors, but that's about it. But I can combine it with stone, which I also have heck tons of. And not just that, I have this, and 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 this. Yeah, I have lots of stone, but I can combine it with the stone and I can make andesite, which is one of my favorite blocks to use in a lot of builds. So on the right side, because of that shulker of diorite we have, it means we basically have 2 shulkers of andesite, plus most of this shulker of andesite that we picked up here, as well as another shulker of granite. And we got basically 9 stacks of coal ore, which is awesome, because we should get 2 or 3 coal drops with a fortune pick, so that's like 18 stacks of black dye, which is like 36 stacks of gray dye, and that is awesome! Uh, as well as we got a bunch of iron, which is kind of irrelevant. We'll just leave it in the ore form. Some more redstone, which is nice. Some gravel blocks that I completely forgot about over here. A little bit of lapis, and we managed to pick up 15 diamonds. Though, surprisingly, in this entire thing here, I found 3 sets of diamonds. 2 of those diamonds were in caves or just in the side of the wall and along that backside. In these 4 chunks, there was only 1 bit that was diamonds, and it was actually the bit that I had to do the most lava clearing. I guess I kind of expected to get some more diamonds from it, but 15 from 3 sets is really good. One of the sets of diamonds was a full 8 block, and I don't think I've ever actually gotten a full 8 block of diamonds before. So that was pretty awesome. But next, oh dear. So next thing we need to do while we're down here is we have a bunch of materials here that I've gone ahead and gathered up. So lots of rails. Originally, I was going to make this out of, or put powered rails along this entire thing, but I think I'm not going to do that, because I already spent 18 diamonds on the powered rails. I basically exhausted Black's supply of gold, and I didn't quite understand or realize the crafting recipe was 6 instead of 16 like it is for normal rails. So basically 1 ingot makes 1 rail, and that's a really expensive recipe because gold isn't cheap for me. So we'll just put some rails at the edges and basically just have long bits of rails going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then turning around just under the edges there. And then we have all of our wither roses, as well as some of the redstone stuff. Some of the redstone stuff that we'll need to actually make ourselves our drop-off station. And then we have a bunch of end rods here, which is how I plan to light this thing up. Because I'm hoping with the end rods it won't disturb the slime spawning, but will still let us light this whole area up. And then lastly, we have a bunch of coarse dirt. I was sort of planning on using stone because the wiki says, oh, wither roses can be placed on any solid block with some exceptions. Well, those exceptions are pretty heckin' big, because it seems to be basically every non-dirt block except netherrack. So it's just dirt stuffs and netherrack, and that's it. So that was mildly frustrating. Mildly frustrating indeed. You know, I wonder if I could actually stick the wither roses in pots and then put them on top of anything. I suppose that'd be an interesting thing. I probably wouldn't want to do that, but it's an interesting thing. Also, over in this corner, for whatever reason, there was a light glitch here, so this corner was just really, really dark, and we just weren't getting, like, any light over here, even though it's completely open, and I had to go into creative a little bit to try and fix that annoying light glitch, but it meant that we kept getting mobs spawning over here during the daytime, and it was very, very frustrating. But, anyway, with that, let's jump back into hyperspeed build mode and build ourselves a slime farm. and end of Hyperspeed build mode. And we now have ourselves a kind of slightly almost functional slime farm. So down there you can see we added in the rails, the layer of dirt, as well as wither roses, and look how fast those slimes are dying. Now, there are a couple people online right now, so we're not getting the full effect of this farm, which is a pity. But oh dear. But based on what we were getting before, it's a pretty fast farm. It's a pretty fast farm. Unfortunately, I am out of time, both in this episode and in real life, to record for this week. So this is just going to have to be how it is for now. And next week we can go ahead and build up the structure on top in the AFK spot, as well as getting all the stuff up for the storage system. And getting that all set up and getting another portal and making it look really pretty and awesome, and I think that will be amazing. But, as I said before, we are basically out of time in this episode, and I think we are actually over. So with that, I've been Splashes. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye! Oh, also the Kill Splashes contest has been extended until December 31st. Bye-bye!